Next up, we have Ethereal Workshop Remix from the My Singing Monsters soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. Become a member, one of them paid subscriptions, support me as much as you want, but not at your own expense. Two disclaimers. Number one, this is my first time hearing this track ever, so I will be pausing a lot, as I will be explaining things as I hear them or as I realize them, and this is recorded live on stream on a single take, so I might stumble upon my words, I'm gonna yap a lot, whatever happens, happens. Alright, with that being said, let's do this. Ethereal Workshop, let's go. Okay, so we start with a beat. We start with a proper beat. Fairly straightforward drums, but I think there's an anvil sample right there. It sounds like an anvil, it sounds like a bit more metallic than everything else. It's way too bright to be a cowbell. So it could be, yeah, we got a whistle, we got some saws, so it's giving, you know, the concept of a workshop. So, very, very cool. Every time I hear anvils in music, I'm reminded of Das Rheingold by Wagner, because he decided to do that. Like, in his Ring Cycle, Wagner uses the anvil a lot. Like, classical music has a lot of these things. Like, Tchaikovsky used cannons, Wagner used anvils, there's other stuff throughout the start, but yeah, there you go. Very straightforward, giving us the introductory beat for this. Let's see where it goes. Getting some claps, just a little bit extra. I love, like, something I love so much about the My Singing Monsters soundtrack is the use of the human voice in such an innocent way that it's very endearing. Because it's not the, oh yeah, do like a full-on bark or sound like an actual monster. Because I can do that. I can actually do that and actually sound kind of horrifying if I actually do that. Others, welcome today. Corby, welcome today. How y'all doing? I can actually do that. But in this case, they're trying to do it like, oh yeah, but do it like kind of badly, in a way that it's like endearing. Do it then. Like when it comes to like, y'all have seen me bark before, you know, that kind of thing. Then we have like the actual growls, like, you know, the inhaled one. I can just that kind of thing, and I can, you know, exhale in the voice of the depths of your nightmares, that kind of thing. Said Vina, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the mosh pit. So that's a pig. No, a pig would be higher, like that kind of thing. I can't do the pig squeal that much. So in the case of My Singing Monsters, I like that they are like, okay, do it, but badly, because all of these sounds that they're doing, these are sound effects done badly. Like, these are objectively done poorly, but it's done in such a way that that's what gives it the endearment. It is what makes it good. Because it's one thing for me to go roar when I'm giving you the roar, and another one to me go roar. It's a very, very different plane of existence over here, right? So it's very, very different when it comes to these things. And, you know, my understanding is My Singing Monsters is a game that is supposed to be like child friendly. So being able to have the people actually go for those, it's very endearing. It's kind of sweet in a way as well. So Nico, welcome to the day. How you doing? So yeah, oh god, I got them started. So we're having that, and of course we now have two layers. We have a bass line giving us the bass line, which is just the lower end of the notes, and then we have the main vocals, like it's somebody doing, it's going through the, I forget the name of this thing, the next things, but it's with effects. It's the voice is slightly distorted, going through a synth, making that kind of thing. Oh yeah, Blitz, remind me to answer that question after this video. So yes, we are gonna have we'll have this, and we are getting our first motif. The vocals are a distorted saxophone. That would make sense. That would make sense with the there's this thing that you can have in a guitar. It's a tube that you put in your mouth, and you speak into the tube, and then the guitar, when you play the guitar, usually using the guitar, it actually sounds like whoa, whoa, whoa. It's not a wah pedal, it's the other thing, and I always forget the name, but it's that thing giving us the motif. The motif, of course, being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. And we're having those two going that way. Joe, Ray, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Mosh Pit. Welcome. Hey, how you doing? Let's see where this goes. Oh, very cool. And yeah, now we're actually having these actual, like, now we're seeing some of these. It kind of sounds like a burp. It kind of sounds like when I was doing the growls, like it actually sounds like that. But of course they're not doing that because that's like heavy metal growling. So it's probably an actual burp that they are synthesizing, giving us this like downward going scale. We are continuing with the drum beat, and it's just giving us very this is wonderful. Let's see. There's the motif again. And now we bringing another couple of vocals in the background, giving us a little bit of counterpoint to the main motifs. So the idea of counterpoint, right? Counterpoint is the study of melodies, how they interact with one another, how they are. Usually it's when you pit one melody against another. In this case, we have these 2 or 3 extra layers, I would say, that are playing kind of like chords, but at the same time are doing counterpoint with the main motif. It's pretty nice, and usually it's, yeah, just to add more stuff. It's relatively independent melodies from one another, and yeah, let's see where it goes. The motif is transferred now to somebody else, to another instrument. There's the bass line. That was a very... And we employ one of the most useful tools in the musician's arsenal. Silence. A brief moment of silence. And now we bring it back up. Let me just hear this again. Okay, we bring a variation of the motif. Which is more, it feels more like an elongated version of the motif. So when it comes to this, elongation is a method of developing a motif in which you make the music slower. You make it slower, and therefore it takes longer to play out. The opposite of elongation is reduction. Reduction, you make whatever music idea faster, takes shorter. Right now we're doing an elongation of this, and we are letting it play in legato. So legato is when you play the notes in full. When you just go through the entirety of the note. The opposite of legato is staccato. Staccato is short bursts. Very, very short bursts, which is kind of what the original motif had. Kind of not. It was kind of in between a little bit. And yeah, now we're getting this version. It's a slight variation, and I think it's an inversion too. So when it comes, that was my computer. So when it comes to melody development, another thing you can do is inversion. Inversion, when it comes to, okay, when you have music, you have 3 elements: melody, harmony, rhythm. When it comes to melody, inversion is the idea of taking a melody, whatever shape it may be, taking that and flipping it upside down. and there you go. And there you go. That's all that it is. That's inversion, and I think we're having a combination of inversion with elongation that is giving us these vocal lines, and we're doing a kind of call and response in a little bit of a meta sense. So we're having the clean vocals, we are having these vocals that were kind of in the background against the motif not too long ago. Now they are in the foreground. They play out their version of the motif, then they go quiet, and then we get the rhythm section giving a response. Call and response, you have one music doing the call, like doing whatever it is, and it's another one then responding immediately, and then it's two different sounds. I said kind of sounded like it. Like it sounds a little bit like it. So yeah, let's see where it goes. Very cool. Ooh. And we completely changed the rhythm now. I hear a guitar. Official as well today, how you doing? So yeah, we slowed down the drums considerably. Like, I think we even changed the drums over to a digital sample for something a bit lighter. We brought in this other synth, sounds a little bit more chimey, so to speak, a little bit brighter in sound, giving us a very, very contrasting motif, which I think is still another variation of the motif. And now we're jumping back to this. In this case, we would call that a break. So yeah, let's see where this goes. Motif. And off the ramp we went. So off the ramp, colloquial term that I use. Colloquial just means that there's no official academic term for this, or at least I'm not using it for the sake of simplicity. And in this case, going off the ramp is what I call a transition, where you want to make the listener feel suspended up in the air, mercy of inertia, kind of like going off a ramp, waiting to see where you land. How do you do that? You remove the drums. Maybe the bass as well. In this case, the main motif is kind of also tagged with the bass line. They're going very, very much hand in hand. So it's a little bit difficult to not hear both of them at the same time. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, there is no bass line there. We get the motif transported to another instrument, and most importantly, we start to hear its sequence. Let me play it back a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so we have a brief moment of sequencing. So sequencing is another way of developing melodies, and in this case, we have this shape, mostly speaking, of the motif, more or less this shape. Sequencing is repeating the same motif but from a different starting point. In this case, we had what I think was a sequence, an inverted sequence. So we start with the motif, then we do an inversion, and then from there we bring it back up, which gives us this overall downward going line. And that's the sequence. The starting point or the ending point will be having some sort of direction, overall speaking. And it doesn't have to be a straight line. Like, you can really sequence the motif and do a zigzag, but the idea is of the extrapolated, kind of like the meta sense. So, very, very nice. Now we bring back the original motif with the original instrument. Let's see where this goes. With the new drums as well. Other motif. Sequenced. Structurally speaking, I think we're in a rondo. So when it comes to music, you have something called form, which is just the structure of your music. Yeah, form is just what we usually call the instrumental structure, and these are usually done with letters. So we had a bit of an intro where we introduced the drum beat and everything, and then we brought section A, which is the motif with all this stuff. We brought in section B, which was that initial second no, that was the vocals, the clean vocals. Then we came back to A. This is very, very fast, by the way. A prime. Prime, the apostrophe just means it's a variation because we changed a little bit. We brought in the sequencing and everything. Then we went to section C with those other bright sounding chimey-esque synths. Then we went back to A with that little break that we had, which I'm going to call double prime, and now we are in section D. These sections are surprisingly short for how usually these go, but yeah, this kind of structure is called a rondo. Rondo means to go around, and it's exactly what it is doing. We're going back around to A or some variation of section A every single time. And A is the motif, whether it is the original motif or some sequencing, something like that. So yeah, let's see. Now we have this. Completely different. Okay, so we had a brief moment with the thing. Like, we had a brief break, but it was kind of an elongated version of the motif again. And now we're back to the motif, so. And now we are doing doublings. We are doing doublings with a kind of like Daft Punk-esque vocals. Doublings in music, it just means there's more than one instrument doing the same thing. And in this case, does this count? No, it doesn't. So what I was gonna say is this could be contrafactum, but contrafactum is something completely different. I'm gonna explain it. I'm gonna explain it anyway. So contrafactum is a technique that is used for lyrics in songs. It's very, very popular because what contrafactum is to change the lyrics of an existing melody. Talkbox, thank you. Okay, so a talkbox, that is surprisingly a simple name. So yes, contrafactum is changing the lyrics of any melody or any existing song that already is out there. The most popular one that we have, depending on which part of the world you're in, is going to be a little melody that goes, twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. That is not the original lyrics. The original lyrics are in French. It used to be a French folk song. I don't know the rest of the lyrics. I just know that Mozart did variations on that. So changing lyrics like that is called contrafactum. And I thought this might be contrafactum, but no, it's just putting lyrics to the existing melody, and that is just putting the lyrics to the existing melody. The lyrics did not have... The lyrics did not have any sort of... There was no previous lyrics, so there's no contrafactum to be had, so it's just lyrics. So yeah, surprisingly, and no one knows who composed "A vous dirai-je maman." It's a folk song. It's completely a folk tune that existed from way before that. So yeah, now you know. All right, let's see where this goes. Now we go on. Okay, by the way, structurally speaking, I think we are... So we did this one, which was those synths. Now we are back to A triple prime, which was the one with the little break. And now we are up to section E. We're all the way to section E now with this bit over here. So... Yes, I have a chant, precisely. Completely changing the drums, once again bringing these second the second set of drums, like the more electronic drums, to change completely. I'm doing it, boys. It's time. So, the importance of drums and rhythm and how much it can really, really change everything is just insane. If you want the best example that I can think of how important and how influential the drums can be for anything, the intro of The Mirror by Dream Theater. The first minute, we are having the guitar in The Mirror. The guitar is doing the exact same thing. Cha-cha-chung, 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 cha-cha-chung. That's all the guitar is doing for a full minute straight, and it's the drums around it, the synths and the bass that are changing everything around them that just gives it... There are points where you can legitimately not... It's difficult to believe that the guitar is still doing the exact same thing. And yeah, that is the thing. And right now we are getting, to an extent, something similar, because we are having these motifs being given to us now with a different drum beat. And that alone, it's that. We need to find some other examples? No. So let's continue. So we have now the sequenced motif in a quadruple prime. I would say this is the climax of the track, and this is no longer A, this is the outro. Because now because there are two places where you can put the climax in your track. Usually, like, within the last minute, like at the start of the last minute or the last 2 minutes of the track, or you use it as an outro. Those are the two main places where you can put a climax. In this case, it seems the climax of this is the outro. We are revisiting as much of the material as we can, putting all the motifs, as many of the versions of the motifs we can together, and just making as grandiose an effort as we can. So in this case, this wouldn't quite qualify as an intro, or as a section A. Now we are just going for the outro. Let's see where this goes. So yeah, you can hear there's just more layers added, more layers added. And now for the final bit, we bring in just vocals, singing those chords that we've been hearing for the entire time. And man, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Let's see where it goes. Okay, and now we do one of these, like, echoes of the outro. So the song is, the track is over. The track is over. We're just echoing previous parts and just kind of reminding us of what we heard. It's fairly common in things like electronic music. So it's nice to see it in My Singing Monsters as well, echoing what we were hearing before. And it doesn't count as a fade out. One last run of the bass line. And we bring this synth up, and there you go. And there it is. Man, that was very nice. Adam, welcome today. How you doing? That was really nice, man. Like, My Singing Monsters has a surprisingly good soundtrack. Like, I am no fade out. Yeah, I'm happy. No fade out. And this will loop very well. Like, this can loop very well. And the advantage of building a rondo for video game music is that you can pretty much create a bunch, and especially with a rondo this fast, all of these points of transition, these are entry points. So you can create conditionals for your video game to enter and develop this whole thing. And you can enter through pretty much any of the sequences here. And it works because it all goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And because this track is structured like this, you can really do this, and you can even shuffle them around if you want, because they are built to just be a rondo. So it's a very, very good way. Like, if you are writing music for a video game and you want a very flexible and adaptable track, write a rondo. Make it a rondo. If you can make a good rondo, you are going to be able to use that a lot. So, Yeah, there you go. There you go. That was really fun, man. That was really fun. There you go. That was Ethereal Workshop Remix from the My Singing Monsters soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member, all that good stuff. If you're watching this on the video archive thing and you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3 seconds, I need to remember my own thing, man. I don't have a script written anywhere. This is live on stream on a single take. So if you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 5 seconds, I will be linking it down below in the description. If you're not on the live stream, if you're on the live stream, do not request yet. If you're on the live stream, do not request it. If you're not on the live stream, go to the Discord server if you want to request a song. Link down below. Go to the LFA requests channel and follow the instructions on the pinned messages. And if you want to join the streams and catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. The full stream schedule up to date, showing in your local time zone, are both in the Discord and the Twitch channel, both linked down below. And yeah, that way you don't have to worry about calculating. And follow the gaming channel. I know I haven't uploaded there recently, but it's where I put the VODs of the gaming after shows when they happen. Games are Basterd, link down below, or just search on YouTube. Same username as James R. Basterd. You swap the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you go. There you go. Ethereal Workshop, My Singing Monster. That was really good, man. That was really, really good. But yeah, let's move